right, so hi everyone, welcome to Yay Maker's Craft Kits. We're doing string art, solo flower wood project today. So you want to make sure that you have everything with you. I did give some homework, so if anyone decided that they wanted to stain their board a different color, they could have last night. At this point, it is too late to do that because your board needs to be dry. So I actually did white for my board today because I like to get ahead of things, and today you guys are working on the design that you signed up for, but I'm gonna be working on like a Mother's Day kind of vibe because I always gotta be ahead of, you know, the next season. So I'm doing very similar to what you're doing, only I'll be doing just a little bit different color palette with my string art. So I don't know if all of you got a chance to print out the template for the mason jar, but if you did not, that is okay. If you just grab, I'm going to teach you a little trick really quick, how to make a mason jar very easily without having to print out anything. So I just made this vase here. So if you don't want to do a mason jar, you want to do a different shape like this one. I think I'm going to do this for my Mother's Day one. It's like a cute little vase. So for the mason jar, so all you need is a piece of paper. This is like a cardstock. So what you would want to do is just fold it in half. This is how you're going to get a perfect symmetrical jar. And if you have printed out your mason jar, then you don't need to do this. But this is just like a little trick if you don't have a printer at home or you want to just try out a different shape for your vessel, then you're welcome to do that. So to make a mason jar, so you're going to fold your paper in half like this, and then you're going to start from the middle. So this is going to be the outside of the mason jar here, and a mason jar is going to go, I'll show you real quick, it's going to be a straight line out like this, straight line out, down, and then you kind of like bring it in, little curve, and then it goes back out again. And then it comes down straight, and then it curves, and then it goes back over. This one might be a little bit tapered, but so you want to just make it like this. You can play it too, like if you want to just try it out and see what you come up with. So then you go ahead and you cut it while it's folded in half, and that is how you're going to get perfect sides for your jar, right? So if you try to draw and equalize both sides, you're probably not really going to get it to be perfectly equal. So little trick, and we're just going to go straight across so that when you go and open it, that's a really fat mason jar, so I might want to make it a little bit skinnier. Okay, so you kind of just like eyeball it, see how it goes. Yeah, this one's definitely going to have to be a little bit smaller so I can come in and adjust it. Okay, so just do that now, and that's how you'll make your jar that you're going to do your string art with. I'm going to be doing this shape here. Does anyone want to see how this shape is done? Does anyone like this? You could even do like a ball shape, like that's my dog, she's crazy. I better shut the door. I'm going to show you one other shape that you could do, and if not for now, maybe another time. Okay, so I want to do like something round. I want to do like a ball kind of shape. Okay, Lucky, my crazy dog. So I'm kind of like doing a jar that or a vase that is more rounded outwards. Hold on one second. Hi, she's going crazy. Sorry, I'm teaching an event. Thank you, enjoy. I'm back, sorry guys. I had a lady that was picking up an order at my house. This is Lucky. She thinks that she's like a mini wolf, and she can take on any big dogs. Say hi, Lucky. You have to stop barking, you're crazy. We're teaching. Okay, so if you like a shape like this, okay. It's like your own child, like you feel like, you guys probably don't like mind that she's like barking, because you probably can't hear as much as I could hear her, but it's like a crying child where you feel like the whole world is can hear. I mean, maybe she's loud, I don't know. All right, so I'm coming around. This is more like a round kind of vase. open it up. So you get something fun. This is like a little crazy here, whatever. So you want to make your vessel that, and then just bring it up to your board and just make sure it's not too big. We want to make sure that we have enough room at the top for our flowers. So you don't want your mason jar or your vase to like come all the way up here, because if it's all the way up here, there's going to be no room for your flowers. Okay, so I'll just show you the other ones that I made. So you can see all of them. If you're doing an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, it's like a good size to work with, because it's not gonna, for this board that you guys were sent. Okay, and this is the one I think I'm gonna do today, just because it feels very Mother's Day to me. All right, fantastic. So, let's see. Okay, so if you're not gonna be painting your flowers, let me know. And then I think, do I have my one friend in here? I think does anyone here have the teacup? Anyone here have the teacup? I moved it from the 5 o'clock show to now. I don't know if she got my message. I had one girl that was the teacup, but I don't know if she's here. Okay, so is everyone here going to be painting their flowers, or you want to leave them all white? If you're going to leave them all white, just write in the comments, I'm leaving them white.
Yeah, I was going to leave mine white.
Okay, great. Trying to decide what to go and do first, because you guys are just gonna be here like waiting for a sec, but I guess what we could do is we can map out the string art first, so that the group that is not painting their flowers can get started on this part, and then I'll go back and show everyone how to dip their flowers. So I'm gonna slide this on over. So whether you have my printout or if you cut out your paper, you're gonna wanna tape it to your board. So I'm gonna have to get some tape. Tammy is like half prepared today. I just shipped out like 50 packages for this weekend. For Thanksgiving weekend, I have a chunky blanket event coming up, and I gotta get those packages out so they get there on time. The UPS and USPS have been so unpredictable. Usually USPS is better for shipping because they get things there on time. And UPS, I don't know what they do. Okay, so you wanna take some tape and just kind of go around just to make sure it's not going to shift. We don't want it to shift. If you have the printed out paper, you can just put that flat on your board, but make sure it's not up too high, okay? Make sure you have that room for your flowers. Okay, and now this part is super fun. We're going to just leave everyone on mute for this so that it's not like banging like crazy. I suggest that you put your board on top of a towel. If you're on a countertop or anything like that. So I would put your thing on top of a towel, okay? We can all go and start doing this now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually go to the all 4 points of our vase first. So we're gonna start by putting all of the nails pretty much like on like all the anchors. So like the end, the end, the end, the end, the end, and then we will equally fill in the space in between. Now that is if you're just free flowing like this with a cutout. If you have the picture that has all the dots on it, really that's pretty simple. All you have to do is follow the dots and put a nail in the spots where I put a dot on that printout paper. But if you're doing it like this, you always want to go like to where the anchors are and then fill it in. You never want to, when you're doing string art, no matter what you're doing, you don't ever want to like start here and then just keep going all the way around, because you're not going to make it equal by doing it that way. So always start on the ends and then figure out what's like the next midway, but we'll go through that. So you're going to take your hammer. I prefer a little chubby hammer. If you have a long hammer, that's fine, no big deal. And I'm just going to take my nail and just, if you have, you know, the pre-printed one, then you just stick it right in the middle of the circle. If you do not, then you just kind of hold it right on the outside of whatever shape that you made. And then you want to tap it in so that it's tight. Like you don't want to go too deep or too shallow, because if it's too shallow, then it will kind of wiggle when we start to put tension on it with the string. So you want to have like, you know, it should be nice and tight, but you don't want it to be, you can kind of see here how much is sticking out. Okay, so it's probably sticking out about, oh, that heart. It's sticking out about the length of your thumbnail. Okay, if that's helpful. I know everyone has probably different size thumbs, that's okay, but It's about the length of your thumbnail. All right, so we're just gonna go all around on the ends. Okay, we're just doing all the, just try not to like hit your finger. It does happen sometimes, but the trick when you are hammering in your nails for string art is you wanna just start slow by doing a couple of tiny little taps to get it in place. And then you wanna hit it harder, like 1, 2, or 3 times, so that it's nice in there and strong. When you go to do like that whack, make sure your finger's not there. You only want to really hold it when you're just doing a gentle tap just to get it in place. Okay, we're going to come to this corner, down here. I'm going to lightly tap it. And then I'm going to hit it harder. 1, 2, 3. It's usually about enough. And you could always just keep checking with your nail to make sure that it's all the same height. Any of you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat section, or you can unmute yourself. Oh, that one got a little deep, but that's okay. They don't all have to be like perfectly the same height. I mean, you ideally would like to strive for that, but if it doesn't happen, like one goes in a little bit deeper, that's okay.
Is it okay to do it like right on the paper?
Yep.
Like, yeah, okay. And then you just pull the paper out after?
Exactly, yep. So your version's definitely easier if you were able to print out the stencil. You just put it right in the middle of the dot, hammer it in, and then later on you'll rip off the paper.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And if you're doing it like I'm doing it, you're doing it on the outside of your stencil. So that way later you can just pull it out from the middle of it. This is like fake Lady Gaga right now on my thing. You probably can't even hear it. I'm far from the shallow now. Okay, so I'm gonna show you real quick. See here, there's like I'm not gonna really be able to put one here because we're far from the shallow now. Okay, so if you have a spot like this, let me just let this person in. You're probably not gonna be able to put a nail right into the middle where the crack is because the two boards are obviously put together. So you're gonna wanna balance it out on the top of your mason jar. I'm not too sure what I did on the papers, but you're gonna wanna like do your center points here. So instead of being like right dead in the center, we might wanna like off center it just a little bit. So like one here. So in between this space and the crack of the board, I'm probably gonna just fit in like 2 more nails, right? So I can't go in the middle because it'll split the board. So I'm going to put one probably like here. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. I can fit 3 actually. So kind of eyeball it. You want your nails as you start to go, they're gonna all be about, let me see. I don't know. Kind of like the width of your thumb. Like that's how much space kind of should be in between all of your nails. Yeah, that makes sense. So about the width of your thumb is a good measure for how much space should be in between the nails. Unless you're on the printed paper, then just follow that. Okay. Uh-oh. You need to calm down. Okay, now, while everyone is working on this, for the people who are painting their flowers, I do want you to stop for a moment and I want you to shift over to your flowers. We're just gonna be at like 2 different paces because the one group is not painting their flowers and one group is. So now that you kind of have the hang of what you're gonna do for that, we're actually not gonna, we need to paint our flowers first because they need to dry so that they're ready to go for after. So you're not gonna finish your whole mason jar. I want to get going on painting the flowers. So if you are in the group that's painting your flowers, please stop now with the string, with the nails, and we're gonna move on. I'm gonna show you how to do your flowers. and then you can go back and do that. Okay. So I'm just gonna slide my handy dandy little tray on over. All right, let me just make sure I clean up my space. So again, if you are painting your flowers, you are going to stop what you're doing and we're gonna move on to this real quick. So I've already pre-prepared my colors. So I gave you all little paint cups. Now, if you have any paint around the house that you like and you wanna use, you can do this with any paint around your home. As long as it's like an acrylic base. You could even use if you have like a multi-surface paint around your house, that will work too. But you wanna water down your paint. So, like for example, I'll show you. So I had an old bottle of paint like this, and I actually just filled that up with water, shook it up, and then poured it in a cup. So we're really watering down acrylic paint or multi-surface paint. So you're gonna wanna get a couple of cups, and you're gonna fill all of your cups about, I don't know, about this much or so. And then you're gonna go into each of those little cups, scoop them out. You can either scoop them out and leave it in and like dip into your water, but we want watered down paint. That's the goal. So I'll show you really quick 2 different ways that you can paint your flowers. So you can either, you can actually just dip in with like a paintbrush and tap it onto your flowers and then it will soak it up nicely. Or you can like physically dip it if you have a cup that's big enough. Okay, so you can paint it in. You can paint it in like this. These kind of flowers I like to do 2-tone. So you can paint it in, but you need to make sure it's watered down. You have to have watered down paint. That's the most important. And a clean cup of water, which I don't have. I need to grab. Okay. You could even get like a really, you could take like those little paint cups that I gave you guys and just kind of squeeze it into the cup and then you mix around to make the color. All right, so for here, I just did the center. I'm gonna go into my next color and I'll show you for dipping, a way that you can dip them too if you have enough, like a wide enough open space. So I just did the middle, but I wanna dip the rest. I'm just going to literally dip it like it's an Easter egg. Okay, now by doing that, I'm gonna wait a sec till all of the excess paint falls off of it. And then maybe I'll come back in and just repaint that center because it changed the color of it a little bit. You could even go in and paint the tips a little bit. Now, what these are, they are actually wood flowers. These are made out of wood, and somebody actually hand cuts these, which is pretty amazing. So these are made from a tapioca wood plant or tree, whatever it is. So what they do is they take the bark off of the tapioca plant and then they shave like little shavings, which is what the leaves are. Then they arrange them and then they tie them underneath. If you're ever interested, you could look up on like Google or YouTube like how wood flowers are made. It's amazing. And they like take knives and they like cut it while it's all tied. I don't even know. It's insane. But that is what it looks like when you dip your flower. You can let it dry a little bit and then go back with another color and do like a 2-tone. It's really your creative destiny, whatever you want to do. So then once you dip your flower or you paint your flower, you want to lay it onto a surface where it can dry for a little while. So I didn't put any like protective layer down on my countertop here, but I did put some press and seal right onto my granite countertop, so that protects my countertop, but my flowers can dry as well. So if you look down here, this flower, I'm gonna actually just take this and I'm gonna gently flip it over and let it dry downwards. So that way if there's any paint pooling in it, it will drip down. So I'll just show you here in this camera. Sorry guys, I'm trying to do a live event and record at the same time. So I covered my countertop with a press and seal. I just got like, Glade press and seal. And I covered my countertop with it, and then I'm going to take my wood flower that I just painted, and then I'm going to lay it face down so that if there's any paint, it's going to drip downwards and then it will dry. So hopefully your flowers will be mostly dry by the time that we're finished doing our string art. Okay, so just the world is your oyster. Just go for it and whatever you like, and you can just make them all different. You can dip them once and then dip them again. I have this pretty like purple, that's very Mother's Day, isn't it? I know, look at that. Light lavender. Okay, so, and again, lay it downwards so that it lets that paint drip out. This one I did for my last show. I'm just gonna put that to the side. This was actually some gold paint. I don't know how this is gonna come out. Now, if you don't wanna like get your hands dirty, I have another little trick. I'm gonna show you. I have to grab something over here. So if you happen to have shish kebab skewers, maybe in your kitchen like I did in my drawer, like this, you could take a shish kebab skewer, just gently press it into the back of your flour, like so, and then just go on ahead and dip on in. Boom. And that way you don't really have to touch it if you don't want to get all dirty. This one's pretty. I don't even know what I just made there. All right, see? So now it's all on there, and then you can just pop it off right onto the surface where it's going to dry. Did anyone who picked all white flowers change their mind and decide to paint their flowers, or a couple of them? This is so fun. I love these. So like you can literally paint your wood flowers a million different times and it comes out different every time. So this is super fun. You could do, you know, all different ideas, all different colors. All right, so I'm gonna go into this deep purple here. Super pretty. If your flower is too large, sometimes the flowers are too big, you can even tilt your cup to the side and then rotate your flower in the liquid. Okay, so you want this to be like super watery. Okay, you don't want it to be thick. We want it to be almost like a wash. All right, this is pretty. Like this one. Ooh, ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. All right, so once you're all covered up, pop it down. Leaving it white, leaving it white. Okay. Let's see what color is gonna be next. Maybe we'll go into this one. And then you could even like dip and then let it dry for a few seconds and then dip into a different color. Sometimes that's fun. All right, that's good. Little pink situation. How are we doing, guys? Good? I know you probably have your hands full with your string art. All right, here's like the light purple. You could do blue, green. You can, like, ones that have like different characteristics to them, you can just paint like the center of one. You can later on go in with like different paint and just paint the tips a different color. Lots of options. Oh, you know what? I probably should leave a couple white for this arrangement because that would look pretty. We're gonna leave that one white, that one white. It's like you barely use any of this either, so I mean, I'm gonna wind up throwing most of this out. You could save it if you ever were gonna do like another project. All right, let's go in this color. All right, since I'm almost done, I'm gonna experiment. I'm gonna go in this color, and then I'm gonna go, oh, that is different. I'm gonna go this color, this looks like Barbie. It's like that pinky purple color. Barbie vibes, right? Fun. Okay, maybe we'll leave 3 white. Nah, we'll just do 2 white. I like color too much. I don't even know if the white ones will look good though on the white background. So if anyone's interested in doing more crafts, I do teach other night types. I do chunky blanket, art resin. We have lanterns. We have a whole plethora of things. Lots and lots of different things. We do family, like private events for the holidays or fundraisers. All the things. All right, so I did this pretty quickly. So I'm done dipping my flowers. I think you have about 9 flowers to do. You might want to even leave 1 or 2 of them in just the ivory color because it does look pretty instead of painting all of them. So I'm just gonna show you real quick. So you can see I have them all laying upside down to let the paint drip downwards. So while that is over here drying, I'm gonna go back to my string art and I'm gonna continue going around to map it out. Okay, where's my little chubby hammer here? Okay, so you can see I got my whole top done here. I'm just gonna come close if you wanna see like how far apart the nails can be. So you can see here, it is about the thickness of my thumb. You see? I can stick my thumb in between each of them. You don't really want them tighter or looser than that because we're gonna have the twine be nice and tight by having it the space of our thumb. Okay, so on my camera over here, you can see it's about the space of my thumb. Now, if it's a little bit tighter, that's fine. It's not a big deal, but you don't want it to be looser because if it's looser, then your string is probably not gonna be as taut. Okay, so I'm just gonna go around. All right, let's get some music going. What do you guys want? You want like 60s, 70s, 80s, or do you want Christmas? Tell me what you want. What you want. Nobody's picking. I guess I'll pick it. I think everyone's still sleeping. Alexa, off. That one was too slow.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Now I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh, the mistletoe is hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Mistletoe is hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have
This is a stubborn spot on the wood.
jolly Christmas this year.
Well, that spot didn't want to let me in. So sometimes when you're nailing in the wood, it might be a little stubborn, so you might have to just shift your nail a little bit. Still don't want to go in at all right here. is like hard wood. Sorry, guys. All right. That one was aggressive. It was like a spot on the wood that just did not want to let my nail in. Thanks, Kathy. Kathy said she loves the Christmas music. I think everybody is just about ready to start decorating for Christmas, if not already.
This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm the storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. Did you know? Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nation? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? That sleeping child you're holding is the
Okay, guys, so keep going. I'm just going to show you mine real quick. I am already finished with mine. I'm done this a couple times, so I'm pretty quick at it now. That's okay if you're not. I'm just going to, because I want to end the first part of the YouTube video, so just don't mind me. I'm going to just close out the first part. So, my YouTube video here. So once you're done going all around your vessel or your vase or your mason jar, and you have all your nails in, you're just gonna go in and gently peel away, okay, the trace part. And then in the next video, you're gonna come on back and I'm gonna show you how to string your vase. It looks so cool already. I'm so excited. So this is kind of like what it looks like. You can tell where it's going to be. And then in this next part, I'm gonna let everyone here on the video catch up and then I will start over on the video. So yeah, and come check out part 2.